na yamfa yankomo no enhye so papa yamo akwa babiem
nyamisha mo pa
na o to say
nyamia dom me oyo pa
papa me no want finish business o say yankomo na
ni kwa so I don't know
it's not there also mami hu de akọ
ni kwa so I don't know sawe bebe
me ka wata de white fatao kama pa
oh ya da nyamiasi
ya pamma wana
we mo pamma me yes
oh nice
very nice. Till I no crown on me refinity. Yes, but me what tell I be a out time palm in Tarrant man, mommy pan yeah. Or my friend Dion clothing, Dion clothing. Oh yeah, me member in church. Dion clothing.
Oh yeah, church member.
Yes, very good. Very good. Most of me African way I'm share the preaching now. No palm man.
Oh yeah, me share no. What's the
Dion clothing. Yeah, Dion clothing.
But you will be a Yamishra. Say, oh, clothing for my. Sure. And that topic, you know, I'm for interest.
Absolutely.
Me want for baby, almost say they won't miss it. Almost
no great. Surely.
And then that one they said the end the piano. Na
all right. Me your prophet Telvin. My name is Prophet Telvin, founder of Prophetic Life Embassy in Oyibi Prayer Camp Junction, Accra. And by the grace of God, I'm a prophet by calling, executing God's main calls, and then at the end of the day, doing what God has sent us to do, and pleasing God, not man, by the grace of God. Sure.
Amen. Amen. And yes, I say. Enipa ya na masasi so aye kwa ye bayi ye nyina ni enipa ana ebi mo kan ye ho a omunye nipa but ye ho mu se nipa but in the realms of life no omunye nipa bibisa ho
yes bibisa ho
okay and for you remu
young cousin and the moment breaking it down so that you can be able to get the main picture and then by the grace of God nipa ni baby in so many ways by the grace of God. And at the end of the day, you know, we have a lot of things that we are learning across the world. We've come to a world where, as I say, I am breaking certain things down for people's understanding. And demons and evil spirits and spirits. The main question is, where did they come from? About the same, and all of a sudden, you will be a friend of evil spirit. Where did they come from? Yes. So, in the foundation of the time, before we were even created, there were angels of God that existed before us. And through certain conditions, the angels of God fell. And now I can show you why they fell. But then to make it quickly, just summarizing, they fell. And when most of them fell, they came and dwelt in the midst of men. At the end of the day, because when they fell, they went into nothingness, and then when the earth was created, they came and dwelt in the midst of men. And then in the book of Genesis chapter 6, the word says something very clearly. It said that the sons of God came to make wives of the daughters of men, and then they gave birth to Nephilims, which were the giants of old, which means say any nipa ebenya relationship, and then they gave birth. Very strange. How can a human being and a spirit give birth? And in that condition, how did the spirits realize that they can do something like that? They made that decision because someone realized here, say, they can multiply by themselves. They can be able to bear fruit and then multiply. And the only way an entity can multiply on the face of the earth when it has to do with sentient and spiritual souls and stuff is by going through the womb of a woman. And in that condition, they began to make wives of the daughters of men. And then they began to give birth to Nephilims. Whilst they were giving birth to Nephilims, when they began to give birth to the Nephilims, they were bound and in chains. And then the Nephilims began to take over the face of the world. And so in categories, there are 4 categories of demons. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. In the Hebrew, in the Greek, Okano, Akas, Exousias, Pneumatica, Ponerius, and Cosmokrotobas. Which means principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Open in 4 categories now. The Akas, which is principalities, they are witches, and they are Beyuhum. Exousia, which is powers, and they are conform. Then you have Cosmokrotobas, that is rulers of darkness, and Nephilims. Then you have Pneumatica Ponerius, spiritual wickedness in high places. The main fallen angels, no, and the fallen angels never, and then they kept producing because they wanted to multiply demon kind. What's the idea? And a demon baku etimi take seed in a woman, they can give birth to 1 million different demons.
A physical, not spiritual, something.
Physical thing that happened in the Bible, Genesis chapter 6. They gave birth to Nephilims, yes, giants of old. And nobody who Zeus, Munisa, all those kind of demons no more existing. And that's how demons began to multiply. And to multiply ABC, and then the flood of Noah came. A bit me talk say ebani say na boni ben kra na nipa ya nyankopon be ma flood a wipe nipa nyina kono. It was because the human beings that were existing in that time were lesser in number than the demons that were existing. And so nyankopon said no, it was time for mankind, the bloodline of mankind, to be saved, because most bloodlines were corrupted by demons. So nipa wo ho okita nipa dua, but then demon etinimu. So you half man, half demon. So all their body was scrapped off the system by the flood. Flood ni cleanse your movie, you know. Hum no be echo share people mu, eshensuo mu, eshendua mu, eshenframa, and that's how it is. And later nyankopon cleanse etina, and I go from Musaba ebu.
Oh how?
Ye na mo ana ye hu edua bi, na ye edua we be womu, na ye di apaye, na ya conjure spirit na we de waba, na obi di insure we enkusha bofem, no the dry gin egusu, na wa conjure na spirit na ba. So we ourselves began to create portals and began to open them up. And just as I say, you build portals, no, and then they began to function in full capacity. Now, the most common one is what I want to talk about, which is the witchcraft spirit. And no, is the least of the category. It is a parasiting spirit. As a parasite, you know, in a sense, what fix a more crime, or telling no then he lives with the crime.
Yes,
exactly. That's how witchcraft is. A talini pano. So the witchcraft corrupts the person's soul. Now, and any panic spirits now are bonded together. So the person then becomes the witch. So omona you can see them as though they are human beings, but then they are not.
Wow.
Because they are two different entities altogether. And if you make a mistake, say, oh no, you're not my human being, or better me blinking the name say now or the way we are.
Physically, you home so me nipa.
Physically,
but
yes.
In reality, no, omoya
home. And there are so many people like that we have seen. Some years back, in Accra, I was doing fasting. And Accra. And when I was walking, no be a shedra. That's your woman beat you. So when I was walking away from him about, let's say, 10 to 15 feet away from her. And I'm 10 to 15 feet away from her. And 10 to 15 feet, you know, I'm talking about normally like down one bedroom, wall to wall, kind of distance. And to me, now more me kono, me chemono, woman tell me, hey, Ade, me I say, Ade no babe share, me babe share ni dra egu. Yes, me babe can ni dra egu. So I looked at the woman and said, how? Like it's not possible because by distance, baby, I want baby, I want ejimi kite dra tin na me di babe can ni dra egu. But the way she was shouting and then she was insulting me. And to me, Shana, that time when I may be a ninety, me who ya na say, oh, Sana line be that baby, I mean, Chemuno. And I'm Mudi Yomuniama. And if you don't take care, now Nima, Uchemuna, Genia, my phone, or whom be also penawaji. And once I made you me drew her, or then make it that attempt on who says it's not possible. And that's when physically they'll provoke you and they start fighting you for no reason. Only if you baby are, but they'll be attack you because they notice who you are or what you have and what you can do. And
that sometimes, you know, Obu okra unya ne hwe ba prekopa no washa ase no woko. Ebia wosia no unya ne hwe otinuka say ade na wo bonfutu agumani.
Exactly.
Ebia ni tisu osoro. Also, and
it's a lot of things like that. Like one day, many boys here near Spring Test were in a car, and here driving a woman be so kita rubber. I'll be crossing your coin or crossing your name trim. You're crossing and make a trom or car and say, woman, we on your nipa, or your witch, or your very demonic way. Once in a while, and you're driving, you bones were creating accident. Like joke, when we drove, we got there was accident there. Me catch to know, hey, not shock you. Yes, because when we see them, we know we're on your nipa. When it's on okita flesh and blood no but a different thing altogether in the realm of the spirit. And to one shiny year, obe cancel nipa nanso obe use this year.
Enti omupa market and omupa krubuna omuni nama. Ade na omuso hwehwe.
Omo handle certain things in marketing structure. As a senior, obi bisa say adena we momuni na momo destroy ni amani ni amani. Sisi senior mosquito wo honum no. Mosquito survives on blood. So when you moja na no mo so they survive on the blood. That's what they take in. Everything and what they survive on. The witchcraft seed, which is the parasite, it breeds on destroying people and stealing from people. And the one thing that is really shocking in the witchcraft operation is that they are trade in the realm of the spirit. Omu trade in the realm of the spirit. Omu tuntoniama, trading yama for power and potential capacity. And it is like bragging rights. As a bibe jumano de akotoka to show his friends say, or will be. No, I thought that to show his friends so will be the same way they have that spiritual bragging right. So we announce the way. Or you're powerful. Send a comfort cry, we see our passing, we see our pass. So everybody wants to attain the highest height in the realms. And to the money now, then they are working around and then destroying and stealing from people. And only my dear the most scariest thing in all of those things through the affairs of the realm of the spirit is that before Betty me and my way DNA. Now we are like your womb is gone, like we're rendered dead. Physically the womb is there, but then spiritually power now containing life. No, it's not physical. All of us understand one important reality of life because that's the spiritual thing that backs that which is real in the standard. So that kind of force that maintains life is already dead because no way you force no spiritually from there. So once that force is not there. Only problem with your womb. In your womb, your menstruation is flowing, everything is fine. Until that be worry about cancer person over. At that time, maybe I would say 20 years ago, you would never know. And the time our power banana fed aqualanimba. Now they are question at DBSC 2 months, and now Nanabio TVB, and now DBSC 2 weeks ago. So normally we think about the imminent problems, not the past. But then demonic entities are very smart that they can steal from you even when you are at the tender age.
Nkame bebu sa kwa say yate say ye wo nkwala baby sa. Omo aya omo be dware omo no. Ye say ebi mo kura timi take omo shine away.
Yes,
and say omo glory away. E no so wo sa.
Yes, wo. Omo timi trade the potential of your destiny. The human being is a body, soul and spirit. And your soul is like a house that you know, everybody has a soul. Once they give birth to you, the first thing you're looking for is a shelter. Yes. Dying. Yes. We are replicating what we are in the realm of the spirit. In the realm of the spirit, your soul is not just you. Your soul is the house that your spirit dwells in. And till that now soon it's your spirit that wakes up, and your soul contains your thoughts. What I say? That's why you can know that you have forgotten something, but you don't remember what you have forgotten, because you are not your soul. Your soul is just an accumulative structure of information, and you process the information. So your soul is like a library where you can take something that happened 10 years ago and then remember. You can say take something that happened 2 years ago and then remember. And then the witchcraft authorities or demonic entities as a whole, they access your soul, and each soul has precious things within it, and then they can steal it from you. And to move free, for you to even notice, you will never notice it until you would need that thing. As a what they be a own him. Now be here now.
Now they say you near me, enipa ye share wo krom doso. How do we know the difference between the enipa and the spirit? DNA was here, ye ben here, so that we are careful.
One important thing is that light can detect darkness. And darkness can detect darkness. That's one important thing. The Bible said that the spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the sons of God. Once unante with God, automatically you can be able to discern certain entities. They won't be strange. Once you get closer to them, you can be able to notice that we know and yet automatically there are some people that you can come closer to. Once I'll be sure, you will just know, say, the atmosphere, the aura is not positive. There is something wrong with the atmosphere. And the problem is that we fall under the charade of physical upliftment. I said, and then imagine say be obi atoka and tonya before. So we have a narrative in our mind say yes, you'll be your okita bonana before. Brewabi and is here to do.
Yes.
And any mache.
Yes.
So normally people will see an old woman, if you are upon in youthful age, you know, or you know, the Nima then ashe, and Tomushiana, then they think, oh, where do I before?
Yes.
But I can assure you, said there is even a consular sitting now at the embassy about to give you a visa. I'll not see before. Yes, there can be a member of parliament. I'll before. There can be a minister of state. I'll before. There can even be a president. I'll before. Yes.
Nti ba ye ni nya de tantan kwa se obi anesia tutu kwa na eba ifo ana obi oti akurase bi o hye bi ase na eba ifo.
Yes, and in the witchcraft there are even two categories. Okay. There is the overtaker and then the undertaker. The undertaker ye dia o hye ono onko ono so ma onko. Okay. Which ono de ye nyina ye ntina ombre o pese onko weni mo na wa twa abehwe o pese onko na wa twa abehwe hwe ono mento ono no na on person obi abeko enti se obekum nyina na komadiom they will do it. And then there is another category which is the overtaker. Ono no ebusua no they will trade everybody's glory for themselves or the whole community's glory for themselves. Ono kwa no be di obi ani obetime na wadi. Wow. They take territory. There are two kinds. And to be will be very powerful, very rich person, highly educated. Otutu kwani na mabrotre kwaba ohu na aka say oh we dey send your tie no onye before because say oh ono nko asori o sheda njinya mi ndi ono onye say dodo na ye before. I can assure you a lot of people are witches. A lot. And witchcraft you too. Mami remo kakra mo in categories. There is a blind witch and there is an active witch. The blind witch is a dormant witch. And in every witch coven they will need one open eye witch, which is an active witch. No one recruiting blind witches. What you say? And the open eye witches no more need a council of blind witches. They manipulate and operate with the blind witches to work and execute. And to be say, lady be better me ra community be mo. Now man no more no be educated, intelligent to be about your fine. Ora wa no de dwaman huma robia mu. Ono ye say omo leader. Wow. No lead gang bi. No mu nyina ye de omo akoma pa mu de mema we ni na mani na mana. Obo say ba wi akire no. Obia ba nyinsen, obia life be say no no kwa gusu gina. The life inside that. Obe lead omo nyina astray. But they will never fall. They are the main witch. The rest are the blind witches. And then they will use them to cause enough damage. Wow. Then they move to the next group. Once and they notice this. So they were always talking to us about friends, not down for men go with you. Because some people are there, they are housing demonic entities, and then they will create a recruitment that will cause mass destruction within that terrain. And so that's that category, though, the open eye. And then the dormant ones are used. And to be a dormant witch. Or bet me about sorry. Or bet me on pastor. And now I say, pastor, no. We be and say on for pastor name concorda. Yes. That's not dream. Aye. E want the tribunal on no crown on Sunday on who say on nam from him so be full. Okay. But on pastor na and so funny here bibi on pastor na e so and no just or said you see pastor na.
One can sample share them so be for pastor how no dey
wonimu exactly. And then there is always a leader that is open eye. How no na control terrain. Terrain to no form or bad direct or play around people. Why did I do this? It's just a home no show and manipulating him. Exactly.
I heard about a story I say before. I say Ghana here na Obia de Nebaba, no Mari, Obia de Nebaba. The Mammy Bako, Nemaye two, Baku of Buchina Bako Ghana. The Organa de or no Brabona saying San or no. Tam no swear so in the Babano. Or not in the Bible, or no Masano, almost all Mumpe, or Buchino. And also, oh, on the baby, no, see that be. I want to know, say, a bay for no so, and Namno, and I said, Ni Passayano. Or Mui Papa, no woman, and I don't mean of your mutim, and they also sought no Mui Papa.
As the saying goes, thieves don't rob empty houses. And before the destroyer, they come for people that are progressive. they look for something that has value. At the end of my saying, we the dada and your munko. Omunfaneshi, or your quarry sending the dada in your maniama, Omunfaneshi. And I made the Okasa there many, Mammy can't show I one secret. Many people won't say, infiltrate, accord joints, a petition bar for do drop a brayer before. Honor my tongue before pot, no one. The drunkard distant pots. No? That's how I ultimately show be. Oko now numunsa unya quarensenida, but you may just take a beer from some of those places and drink from that. They will try to control it. Nobody can stop.
Evil spirit
Honest most of them are witches, and some of them says amount for ntoadi. Until once they come in, once you take one drink, you get possessed because of quoi. Bukano ana juju nino or no on catcher will say obe possess nipa ama wa continuous obeto. It will intuit like they will trigger their lust for that thing as a nicotine for smokers. Trigger. So that when udi gu niamane so it will trigger the person. And nipa nipa dani koreseni obe bua trese okra na no be omobo, but still they can't stop. Wow. Be free. About free appetition, a bush of one still about the bemano. No, wow. They'll just die.
I said the life and I
say because you are under that spell. And there's a lot of people going so monthly money no bunsa. It's not them. They are falling under some alcohol joint spell.
Wow. Now spirit no a woo. And once a woo no.
Never permanent. They are all eternal, yes. Oh yeah, but transfer to another person.
By force and any accept it.
Once you give yourself the chance, it will look for empty spaces. Oh, you're weaker, it will possess you.
Na eniania ya toto di no emprempi yetimi ma won se maami we bi ade de menkoto ni but omo nka de crunchero ya ma won maami we de na de mento maami we ade o de ma wan fanye wo ho what does it mean eniani bi wo ha bibi wo ma na
yes. On say it depends on what they're going to get. Obi wo wako GBB say and promoting the business. Obi won so oye hunter ankasa. You know, witches have a plan and structure for hunting.
Yes.
Obi wo or hunting for treasures, and the treasures are in people. That bet me then akoton. What I say, and the treasures now when no they call any marketing in the realm of the spirit to be able to trade for pearls and treasures so that they can be able to attain powers, because there are certain things if you go to certain places spiritually. Every country will say, "Ko yi oba 3 min fabra." Obebi say, "Me ba no be wu ana on wuda ba oba no ni destiny." If your child is supposed to be a president or a millionaire, ye completely. Yes. Now no be ba me share na me say they have taking something from them some years back. Yeah, the ninsa kekenesha diemu and I am marking ninsano. So I showed him the mark on his hand.
Physically?
Yes, physically. And just showing his hand on the mark. No one. I told him don't shake here. No one said the mark is not. And I described the mark before I told him to pull out his hand to show me. And I said it was because of something that was done. So I created a whole lot on the mysteries, like the life. So I keep it out of it. But that's that kind of problem. And now, once you don't take care, small petty things are there that they are using to treat. And to be under that jurisdiction or the harvesting yama, then you dream again. You have been invited into a council you have no idea about. To be slave. Only send people bringing them spiritually they are under chains. Or more slaves to. Yes, inquire to other demonic entities. Yeah, for before and everything. Yes, school club not teach any child and as a spiritual or kwama ni students no more class. Yes, as Sophocrates you're preaching and so kwama ni choir ni. Yes, because once they bring you into that level where you start sleeping with all those people and start falling for all those things, you are trapped. You are their servant. Until you know they are okay in answer.
Until I just say, a member be brave, here, the man in your one.
Absolutely.
And a beautiful day inside
journey, money, so many other things. Yes.
Wow. Then Cardinal Benya Crank or Badi and San and the Bedampo. That's your bomb piana. Then so yeah. Stay away from this.
As on why none young couple build the covenant. Yes. No, before not go iron is the same outcome.
Because maybe I be for now one. So for Krabi, I make and so for no crowd, we should have one or so. Only
and it's very true. Because I've seen orchestrations that are beyond imagination. I make a charm for say before you take any step, allow God to lead you. Because Bonsambe Timia strategize your life to understand. Say, you bet me my problem ahead of time. Yeri Abe worry, Kuna Abe worry. They could all be by demonic orchestration, and you fall right into it without knowing. And I'll bet think is oh this send you by enemy shiny panel. It's all by design, every step of the way throughout.
So, in order not to fall in their, traps,
right?
How careful should we be?
You have to really carry God. You can't just walk around the face of the earth. Me catch a man for say, until you are normal, like you will just die. Me sorry, one day I was going somewhere around that time. No more doom light during the doom source seasons. So I was walking. Me nam maybe I'm one dear white to be said, but I live in the realm of the spirit kind of thing. But it was not a big deal for me, so I kept walking. And as I betray Mubium, as a sincere, some white glowing thing, as a nipple, but and I was like, okay, we are no problem beyond betray. And I kept walking. When him say I may go straight, I could have 90% me fast shortcut. But me see me fast shortcut now. I said, Ghana, for be window, it's not a module, and I kept going straight. And me go straight and me branch left. When I say me branch left, me nanti best 4 steps or so. Container bakusia, me won say lady beach na mfimfini black. Me tinyi na agina the chisi. Ohun mi ana oye ni senti ni say I red. In darkness there was light out. In darkness. Ogina straight in OIC. So yes, ape. And I me say adie bi that time I was on a call. Enti adie bi hiti me nsano. And the farm me say as I had now seen time cover from head to toe. So I could literally feel the cobwebs cover me. Air cover me no, the thing went through the core like a frequency wave, and it hit the person at home. And then the panic Jesus, I will feel whilst I was on the call. And I catch anybody say, what happened? I see that shocking and me say no hold. And to ask and I did not chip me. I teach me. And the one I made me 9 right no, it's see for me reverse here the other back from my body. And the one the thing left my body again. On himself physically, this is not dream, this is not illusion. Me one thing I'm very skeptical. And I like to be like, okay, what's happening? Because I mean be me new. Me near the house say, oh the BBC now I'm not a fanatic. When that thing went straight to the person, bam, say original. The thing hit her. And back was on 19. I'm saying, okay, movies done with electric shock and the effect, but in reality there is an exchange. And to call back, and original back. Or done no pa, no 2 minutes. Or done it to say crammy. A human being was born like a dog. I always use it to advise them. And can me complete. And come back to me and pa. Because hey, boys, they were born some and I crawl for I go we are there my abono. They will find there will be so many reasons, but the actual reason that killed me, no one could figure it out.
Now, me pacho sa spirit no, and I don't want no more pretty, and at daytime you know almost how pretty.
I'm more pretty throughout all days. During the day and night. The Bible said, you shall not fear the terror at night, nor the arrows that fly by day, nor pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor plagues that destroy at noonday. Which means if you are getting to come bujuma, and upon bujuma, midnight or bujuma, and not just some bujuma.
Now, you say a bushiani be or I won't one day. Exactly. A man of Kobe be no more power, not on my bewo, a baby, you know, not a Danny. Family problem tormented abusuani na
exactly
bibi sa so
yes you see demons no say na make no they have their own part to omuti baby and who now be aka say, oh, metionum me pe mwafri, and then they will invoke the demon. Make a sure one important thing. There is no voodoo priest. There is no juju man. A conphobia niho, bull kabia niho, our control over any of the demons they are conjuring. Demons are tricky and smart. They are liars and thieves. They are tricksters. Omuni control behind. I will tell you one important thing. Abusum omumpe nentri disguise. Omumpe ojain. Omumpa ponchi. They don't need appetition one thought. Omumfa nyeshi. A trick keke. Omu odigu ombeba. You invoke them, they'll come. The real payment itself is within your spirit and your soul. And to be biara every conphobia beside one thing. Conphobia or your magic or your enchantment and everything. Obedno musa smoky. It's too it will come to you. You can't stop. Obey your massam, obedno musa na obe smoky is automatic. Once you start entering into that, you cannot stop it. You cannot say, oh, media may chant and now those things you cannot do. Because it is fed by evil desire and iniquity, not by punching feeding, and then they come after life itself. And your destiny. And to what you must say, oh, my koji akwalabi, say me bush and bambo, and I will come man, Nipanoma, I'm not too book and yes, 1,000 cities, and oh, yeah, akwalama. And yet, 1,000 no, untia can't
1,000 in Yakatiano.
Oh, that be that,
and
we are watching. Well, come for the just can answer the good to go. What turn and try, hey, actually. That's when the demon will finish working. Now, if you say, okay, so say, you may now, tria me send me pay.
I feel on never demanded your pay.
Your pay. And if there's nobody there to know what the demon is demanding, or bet me demand, they say every second child in the family, or the destiny, and a betting. And to go say, Bushan, every second child be a destiny. But say, may we Bushan. Every single person in the family, whoever you are, at the age of 50 years, you will die of stroke. Yes. Obe worry walk around now, Obe die of stroke, both male and female. Once he's a male, he will die of stroke. Yes. Exactly. They went to bring it. Omo conjure no be boy. Oko friend the bar. Obana punching on the punching. No demon enjoys a punching. It will invoke them. That's what you use to create a portal to bring them. When you bring them, invocation is not payment. Odi in Sangufem, Odi in Kusiagufem, Odi Mojagufem, Odi invoke spirit. After invocation, you will not automatically pay the spirit. The spirit will now work and ask you to pay them. And I am mistake now. Man for be yedi na no conform be na say makudwan e de ayeni ama bi enti wa ye wie obodua kra po ka odi no enye kakecho betimi acha
obodua na dua no ye adwuma
ka odi no eye adwuma once you invoke the demon it will follow you obi obodua be odane ho spirit na di bichi. You have called another spirit. I will join you. Now our friend or come, so he owns your soul, a portion of your soul. So everywhere I'll come your new one, or be all bodriabia is possessed by some kind of force. It means you have to be delivered. Yes. I say you have to remove you from that.
And one day it's in there.
Oh yeah, it depends. Once you meet anointed people, they can remove it. Once a lot of people are like, and I had 2 years, and also yes. But then mainly there are demons you can rip out of people's body without them. Because now they take pine at once. Now they're not feeling more. There's a way you can remove it without what do you beat your nose? Maybe you can just drive it out of the person. Yes.
Now
it's an evil spirit and to now, but one also another host. Omunina parasites. A brand Noah, flood Nisiana, a Wipedia, Nephilim bodies and Akkas bodies and everything. They have been hovering in the face of waters and everything. And to now obeho still, you free non. And Jesus said that if an unclean spirit leaves a body, he goes about looking for empty spaces. If he does not get one, he goes back to the old house and checks if it is empty. If he finds it empty, he goes back and finds 7 deadly demons who are more wicked than him and comes back to take over. the place.
Mami busa 2 questions because you're 30. Yeah, but what baby our Ghana, obeti oh politicians na sacrifice. Omo sacrifice. Yeah, but what baby na obeti oh omo sacrifice moje hwiegu. No kura bi wom sa. Yeah, but what ba e do that time na bibi sa koso sacrifice koso.
Let me just speak one important truth to you. Obiya ni kwan offer so edi eye ne hunhum adwuma. Ene die I will assure you. Obi be sacrifice, obi be bompaye, obi be akwantre. But then I will tell you as a matter of fact that while somebody is praying, while somebody is giving offering, obi nso ye sacrifice. So the obi ani gidie. Not all politicians believes normally in going to church. Not all of them also believe in juju. Enti kaya Kennedy obi be sacrifice. Ombe come, ombe ye niyama biya. Ebe very very different. And definitely they do that. Some people do that. Some go to church and everything. But at the end of the day, because after sacrifice consequences and the whole party or something is facing or the country is facing, it will not be possible.
Okay.
The reason is because mainly, let me tell you something. It is not consequence of sacrifice that gets people battling. It's people fighting against each other. That's the issue with many people. There is a warfare everywhere. The Bible said the life of man is warfare. During primaries, they are warring. After primaries, they are warring. After a presidential victory, they are warring. There is always a fight to win something. So the fight will never end. And everybody where they will fight. It's 2 different things.
Enti emprempi no the offer baby ne de oja ne de manyame no de he na a resource na ehun ntem. Because I see nyame fa ne bo onto ne ntem. San ya omuka.
Yeah, so the offer baby no it depends on maybe offer. Obeti ba fa nyame ho. And then the same great things will happen. Yeah, but I always say busum any all those things. If you go to them, they don't take a punching. They don't take udan. Omonya ade emfa nche. Nyanku papa na be ko no say so for the dinner out and no that G offering kakra 5,000 bra 2,000 bra. O wie na kwa ko. She ndi wechi we free. Or that crowd free. But once you allow anybody to break an egg in front of you, cut a goat in front of you, pour things on it and invoke spirits. Yes. Whether spirits no a year and a year to follow you. Yes. Obiako invoke spirit ama nebusuafo nyina wo ama account nkwada. Yes. Or yeah, then I'm making said what you have done work nebusuafo nyina because they are friend you people can control it. Because if you conjure something, you need to be able to know how to control the thing. And I don't want to they say go fam they say young boys about no more say booklet in no more chanting, no more friend. The thing you are calling, you know how old it is. How long it has been there? Over the 30 years, over the 25 years, you are calling something worth 2,000 years old. Then how can I say me outsmart? You can't outsmart it. It's older than you. Or better than what can say, mechiwa de ye dua we ko fabremi. Or creative pathway to enter into your soul. Or creating no enter your soul is free. If you baby your shadow no free, what ko you free? Be what free no. After there, it will start tormenting your family forever and ever.
Na afibia be kwa wi enso a eya yesi ahonhom sore na accident sisi akwan so na manfo ewu na moje ehwegu no eno so ya mpase afibia be ende a ana ehia moja na. Is it true?
Yeah, there are rituals for that. Yeah. There's a lot of blood testing demons. Harvesting blood mostly during the end of the year, but they do it all the time. But then there's a specific season within October and then December. That is that seasons that you normally see those kind of things. And that's when the demons are really harvesting blood. And it's not mainly because the year is ending, but it is mainly because that's a specific season. And even if we change our calendar and we put the end of the year in somewhere March, within that same 3 months, October, November, December, still there will be death, constant death like that. Yes.
Wow. And there will be a lot of messages coming. I'm for Christ say because in some more too. Wow. Me pacho answer the baby, you know. Sometimes obi to make us say, "Oh, the train na be hu." Okay, the train na be hu. So answer no yam fan no light. Ana obi kabisa chrewa. Ese wo so utu ana.
Ese wo utu ana mo. Me feel no be bad, me feel or shaky. And then I'll be on trend or taking it very serious. One important thing is that when somebody threatens you with spiritual things, you have to take it very serious because it's kind of attack you can never see it coming.
Yes.
If you are not spiritual, say bad. Me, I've seen so many strange things. Within the face of the. I told you, say I grew up with the angel of death. Yes, and some of these things, when it's coming after you, you will never see it coming. Something appears and that's it. It doesn't leave again. And as I said, you need to secure yourself. And I always say, I'm not for bringing them home. No, I got to chain be. No, they're shining something on the body mobile. Wakoto necklace be. No, they're shining some. Wakoto way be. No, they're shining some. None of those things can actually save you. To train now be afa woman yankopon now build it from inside out. Nothing externally can maintain your divine protection. It comes from inside out. When you have, imagine say me ba hanom no me kita ade bia me de hyenkom ana me kita ade bia ma me power na nka me tia no me say me hia sa ade na nka me di achichire me ho. But then because the thing is within us, baby I bet na bia it doesn't, we don't care who you are. Who you den who you busum uti India busum ne wini so the treso odnai bago hangis rokra. Not at all. If you shake our hands, what don't say there is weight. Because we do not represent ourselves, we stand with God. And wherever we are going, because a radin so what do you fear now be sitting in front of us? Has a police. Now police men don't want to for our room. And to you Christian, once you have Christ in you, no cry is so shaky. No cry is on bone. Hey, when you and the years so share a home fina, we are legion 6,000 demons in one man. 6,000 is share years on in Quano. But when you now could to pana, just hey, yes, now I'm a sober titi and Nanka and umrani soon. They started pleading and how can somebody say, oh, what my power say, or better way say, not Christian, no shaky. Only 45. You don't know your God. The Bible said, they that know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploit. And once you know your God, all those forces will they shut down. Obiba, sorry. Or see young concoshini, busumumano. When himself bar sorry, Mr. Tony, so not busum not caught fire at home. By the time I ever do feel say she was not busum na shida. Oh, she yako bomb momo kodum jano. And because it was burning the walls, yako bomb mudum jano. I feel they had drew busum and way back busum bakusio. Missy mammy peja busum. What is a car busum na year and it is so I feel they in from a boba or no from a guitar. I feel the woman then yes, son touch my pee. None yamana funny so. While I make sure I am missing no, I say, woman, bomb two at the end free. And I have bomb pine at the end of free. So, a while, and Busum, myself and I got Kwana, there no, as a piano diba. So I just walk in there and I made time Busum to see. Now we did 2 children when I made time and or show me this. Then me father no more. Simple. And I'm saying, we the it's nothing in it because once I ever drew on them. Baby, I can't hear one. It's someone to me. So that's how God works. And to your Christiania, don't fear those things. But then understand that they are there. As the Newton's third law of motion says, this thing says that in every action there is opposite and equal and opposite reaction in the third law of motion. So understand, say, there is equal and opposite reaction in every action. Until once there is light, there is darkness. Once there are angels, there are demons. Once there is a good force operating, there are evil forces operating. And once you have that knowledge, you would never be ignorant of their devices. It is established.
ne life bibia ye basa meanwhile who say oyenipa and so one never call them to say the only nipa call them no one ni baby na obi bia say
yes. And there are 2 things that factors in that condition. Obi what you are doing curse than so and the demon B is there to collect. So all the own bens and but obi or crowd channel sike na or chine bia o kofi o car engine be blue. So that be ball come with you.
Oh, watch
O channel sika se no anu. O si o be boa no da o be ka se me boa ni pay. Unye skada. Even if you make mistake and force sell be boa your life will go down. Obenya problem. Because a DB than so altars be and as a demons be and curses be covenants be or does not want him to go forward. And to go interfere, they will attack you. That's the first thing. The other people no more there, oh, when you're the word they be sure them get closer to them, get into relationship with them, have sexual affair with them, and no. A ma be brain na mo nipa. Bear didn't have this sexual affair, they steal your soul. What does surround a Jawada now acquire in yeah. You are a servant and no control for her, and that's how they become powerful.
Also, and almost I almost a pa.
Papa, on say bosom on party phone. I'm choose the best. Because all your marketing, it does not choose the attractive.
Yeah, bro.
Don't choose the best.
Yes, we near me. Who now? Because I may say, or bank to Bama to me, you 10. Traffic movements, you 10 about my budget number. No. Now, or some man with a boy, or master me a day, and now the boss one after.
Oh, it's simple. That's why I always say that be aware of the easily gained. Yes. Despise the free lunch, as how this one said, the loss of power said. Be aware of the easy. Adipi onyano falano, a very more problem. When him say, or baby the Bema biada, I'm our money HIV, it was all by design. You orchestrate. Yes. Nini na by plan, say, or bad money HIV. And they are just walking around the face of them. And we easy to get on a normal level. No, come. Oh, Kasa, Naji, so come. Obe Kasa, Ukran, no, yes. Of you for yawa, or see my Obe two no, they'll just finish you.
Already be a new. Papa, enche baby, and then come on, you are opening our eyes for now. Who will be our so per se or the boy a cocoa or be a person who can. Anything, it could be anything. Now be a person who catch a tear for you now.
Yes. So one important thing is that I say when you're spiritually conscious. Because when you're spiritually conscious, we are saying one thing I always say is that it doesn't matter whether you believe or not. Reality is crawling, moving forward. That's the situation. Whether I say senior the sun will not stop and wait for you. Neither will night decide it's not going to come because you don't believe in it. It's going to keep going. And it will continue because that's how it is set. And to understand and set up your mind, say, as Nipan, you have to prepare yourself spiritually at all times. And yes, Obi, Eddie, in Koshiaba, any appetition, be invoke demo, now I yariu. Just small coins. Obi, the Ubekwa Jinans, you'll be in Ano, Abo, you free because you are not fortified. So I always tell people, go under the banner of God because we are saying, Untimi nantiro. Me na make one important thing say. Nipa do drop a bomb to meeting at TV. So say, oh, me I don't believe in religion. I don't go to. Do drop a brainer. Ewo adibi almost sacrifice she baby. Obi timi can say, oh, Africa for the year they person who must. But untimi call Chinese near restaurant be abako or Ghana. You can't point to one. Abeko abusu musio. There's not even one. Yeah. But I won't call restaurant be a Christian need your bones across put down. Yes. I've traveled around and one thing I've realized is most restaurants you go into, there's either some funny pendant hanging at the entrance that you would go through it, or some funny incense and some few altar there that you have to go through to enter. And that's not Tingana. More technology. And nobody Tingana says, oh, yeah, the man don't do anything like that. Man, bomb pie and go so now you say no, you're making a terrible mistake because you don't know how many things are walking in and walking out. Or wait to have a Jessica back to a business, the business will collapse. It doesn't matter how rich you were, you can come crumbling down. You can do one business and your life will end forever. And these are some of the problems. So be spiritually conscious. And if you're sleeping, wake up and get up and do what has to be done to secure you, your children, and your family. Because some person, now school fees, everyone down for 4. You don't want that to happen. So you need to strengthen yourself spiritually.
This man cannot come to the studio and go without telling us anything. Or say, ultimate Baham Quabra, Unkawe, or say, the end of whom be a catcher and apple. No Nipa, Anita, and the buyer. Or say, can be a son of a course, the end of whom you do have a sort of
maybe you may catch.
Okay, all right. Baba, and the Ebedasi, and there will be a Nipa, and I am could deep a I think it's like a cry, you know.
Yes. Absolutely.
Na answer na bekono minim se wati obake ene akwaba so honsem kakra.
Okay.
Enyina he.
Obake. Obake.
Yes.
Obviously, that's the first time I actually heard the word. But when I heard it, me and Crying, so when I heard it, I was like, oh, I understand. Because it makes sense in our languages. But Obake and Akwaba, right? Mino Nanka. What I suggest is that once we guns decide say okay, airports know where you're from, so we are putting it as Obake so that it will promote the country language. I am like the local and the people their language in here. Also, no, I think say it's an opportunity for the country. Say they should force the president and the ministers of state to also build an international airport in Kumasi. So we put Akwaba on it. Then the Northerners were also forced to build international. That will actually spread the country in a very. I think it's a progressive approach where we can push something out of it. But I see, say, oh, back there are so many important things we have to deal with.
And yeah, by natural, empty and for natural.
Oh, okay.
Omo no ye uko arrive hona unse udu hona omo no design bibia ye onti omo no matro akwaba empty and nya ban natural.
Ah, me I thought it was like government no mo tro na. So almost say minister regional minister na go Troy but the on no cost sign. So to me, if like you are in Ghana and then we have to promote the Ghana language, they should obviously promote it because it's their land. It's our land. And because when they told me, my former Adrian come, I saw a TikTok video, and I'm saying, yeah, check out what was the problem?
Because say, mom said, a man for Beijing cry from Semana.
Oh, not really.
Susumuno, and maybe Bedra. And
one thing is that I think say Obake and then Akwaba, maybe they can share it hand in hand. It can explain, yes, and then they can mix it together. Or better still, in a positive way, everybody should push so that Ghana will be forced to develop.
Okay.
Because honestly, I don't know. When I heard that, that's the first thought that came in my mind because I feel that Ghana is only Accra. Yeah. Honestly, I've gone through the whole 16 regions. Every corner, every rough road, every good road. And if all free Accra and call corners, yeah. Okay, say Ghana to say Accra, it's a different story. Accra, Ghana. You go to a place now about 3 hours, car crown for a private car. Everybody will just be looking. Yeah. Gonna be a shock that where is this coming from? Exactly. They have to actually extend the development and not just focus on the center of Accra.
I hear a lot of men of God say, these days I'm hearing that a lot. Right. Security more money borders now. Normal people boba or my anymore. I don't know. Have you seen anything of that sort?
Not at all. Yes. Not at all. But then mainly as a country, you have to secure your borders. But not in Ghana mainly with what I saw. Me say another coup was taking place. But after the coup, it generated something like a terrorist regime that started pushing towards certain African borders, closer to us, but not within our territory. And whilst, you see, we're down for a boni moko chencha,
now the issue
exactly. But now from Funche, which means once they are burying one hatchback, the other one is also watching. Yes. So who say now used to use secure.
The Africa war.
Yeah, Africa. Normally like a coup. And the coup this year it will generate a divided country where terrorism will thrive. Yes.
They will never happen.
Yes. If you change, I'll tell you.
Now, so by election be able to be an this year we know. Now, not for the end. Tamalidi.
It's we need the call. They are clearing the pathway.
The horse so Elizabeth.
We need the call. So I mean, obviously, it's their time, so they would continue. But then, main important thing. Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. I know, so that you get this thing. One said there is a situation going on with the MPP political party.
Yes.
This thing, once I tell you, it will be very, very strange. Yes. I saw amazingly that Baumia was running for flag bearership, and Kennedy Japan was his this the running mate.
Wow.
Very strange.
You've seen that?
Yes. And there's already discussion going on in the realms. But you know, because I'm ahead of time, I'll go and take from the future and come and say it in the present. So that now that the plans have started going on, once I've said it, to be a young person say, say a plan. No? We have said it out in public already. So how do we handle it? Yeah, because they'll come with double numbers to get a strong figure. But the election is 44% for 2028 election.
No matter who they bring.
Yes, it's 44. And it is there. Unless you temper with time, but that one is a long gap no solution. So to catch up with it, you will not finish it by the close of the
we shouldn't be surprised to see say Baumia Kennedy Akambo Moa or Moba.
Yes, it's don't be surprised. Or they'll start talking about it. They'll start talking about it later on.
To what your money can grow.
By the grace of God.
Still now, I'm grandpa.
44, but it didn't change the time. It couldn't change the time. So once the time is maintained, it's the same number at the end of the day. So it's like, okay, there was like double numbers because it will shock you. Say, when the primaries, they will pull very strong numbers during the primaries, and after pulling that kind of numbers, it will encourage them to say, you know what? Imagine if our primaries was this much numbers. If we join together, can you imagine what we can do in 2028? And all of a sudden, as a work or organizing party, after drinks, no biamba, and then it ended at 44 again. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, Bompire say we look at the best future as the Lord lives, and then we see what God will do.
Freezer.
Most definitely.
Your location, your contact.
All right. So Friday is an all night, which is this Friday 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. We are doing an all night at Oyibi Prayer Camp Junction, Prophetic Life Embassy at Oyibi Prayer Camp Junction. You can just Google Prophetic Life Embassy or on Google Map and any other place, Uber, Bolt, anything. Just write Prophetic Life Embassy Oyibi. And once you put it there, you're going to be led there. Now you can follow us on Telvin Soaji on Facebook, Prophetess Telvin on TikTok. And once you see our page, you know it's ours because we've tagged everything on it. And then our phone number is 026-2236-360. 026-2236-360.
Please, the number again.
026
22
36
36
360. Exactly.
Ochina all night.
All night.
Estasi Tambe.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Number
5 a.m. Yeah.
Obia to me ba. Okay. Location ni bi.
Oyibi Prayer Camp Junction. Yes, at Oyibi. Yes. As a Okododowa Kwaniso. Yes.
Pacho ENC number no should be more pacho.
026
22
36
360. Last one.
026 22 36 360. Right.
And that's the survey.
Amen.
That's as much as taxing.